to listen to the Lapped Traffic Podcast.
What is up, Lapped Traffic Nation? Welcome to episode 275 of the Lapped Traffic Podcast. I am your host, the Professor Brandon Crowd. Hope you all had a fantastic weekend. And, well, like all good things, a streak must come to an end. Go ask The Undertaker about that. We have our first two-time winner of the season. I don't know about you, but if I had to put my money on who I thought our first multi-race winner was going to be, it would not have been William Byron. And I would have also said, though, I think William Byron will be a multi-winner this year, just not our first multi-race winner. My money would have been on Chase, who's still waiting for his first win, and Kyle Larson. So there you have it. We'll get into that in a little bit. Let's see. So I'm testing something new out here. I got what is called a P screen to see if that helps reduce some of the background stuff with the letter P. So let me know if this podcast sounds any better, please. All right. So what's going on? Lots been going on. I didn't do a show last week, so let's talk about some stuff. So this past weekend, took a 3-day weekend, was supposed to go to opening day for the Detroit Tigers, but some babysitter issues and nasty weather put a little kibosh on that. Ended up just doing a little running around with Lindsay on Friday. And I went and bought WWE 2K22 for PS4. I haven't had a wrestling video game in forever, and I actually brought the PlayStation up from the basement to the upstairs because, you know, when you're holding the baby, I can also hold a controller. Long story short, I ended up creating the Lapped Traffic Championship belt. It's been so long since I've had a wrestling game, I didn't know you could create your own championship belt. Had I known that, I would have purchased one a lot sooner. I tweeted some pictures out of that. I'm in the middle of creating my unique character, and I will post the intro of him with the belt later this week, because I don't know about you. It's the simple things in life, and I just got a massive kick out of that. Saturday, Sunday, went and visited some friends with the baby, who I can't believe Alden is going to be 2 months old this week on Wednesday. I just can't believe it. He's amazing. Thank you for all the love when I post pictures. It really warms my heart. So speaking of Alden, that's part of the reason why I didn't do a show last week. Sorry about that. There are just going to be some weeks where I just can't fit one in with helping Lindsay out and wanting to spend time with Alden, plus my real job. It's going to happen a couple times throughout the season, and hopefully as he gets older, can get back on a more usual routine. But over the last 2 years, if you've been around for a while listening to the show, there have been times where we've done 2 shows a month. I've done a lot. So I hope you bear with me. I hope you stick around for the gaps, but I will try to be as consistent as possible. All that to say, as a teaser, I've got 10 guests lined up now through midsummer, which is fantastic. Got them spaced out every couple weeks, and I haven't even gotten some of the regulars on yet this year, like Jeff Striegel, who is way overdue. I need to reach out to him and get him in the mix as well. Hope you enjoy Tyler Ankrum on episode 274, which was just a couple weeks ago, and very excited for tonight's show. I've got Sheldon Creed going to be making his Lap Traffic podcast debut. Some craziness from Martinsville, social media shout outs. Aaron Studwell is back. Who knows what we'll get into? Lucky Dog lap down, and of course LT Fantasy to close it out. So let's get things rolling. Let's get Sheldon Creed on the line. All right, Lap Traffic Nation, joining me on the line, making his first appearance on the Lap Traffic Podcast. He is the driver of the number 2 Wheelin' Chevy with RCR. Welcome to the show, Sheldon Creed. Sheldon, what's up, man? How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm awesome, man. Thanks for calling into the show. Appreciate you. Man, what a truck race last night. How bad did you want to be out there beating and banging on that thing?
Yeah, it was, sorry, excuse me. It was definitely fun to watch. I find myself watching the truck every week, wishing I still could race one, at least part-time. So, maybe I'll try to get into a few more this year. But yeah, I thought it was really good last night, and enjoyed seeing William get the win there.
Absolutely. Well, you ran Coda this year in the trucks, which was that a last minute thing there that came together?
Yeah, it came together about pretty much the week of Sunday and Monday. We kind of put the deal together, and didn't really have any expectations there on how we were going to run. Just wanted to go and have fun with it. So I was really pleased with how the truck raced, and was able to get the pole there, which I was surprised about. And then broke the truck arm on lap 2 of the race. So got cut short, but still enjoyed it a lot.
That's cool, man. Yeah. How hectic is it when you're, obviously, and we'll get into the Xfinity series here in a minute, but obviously you have that going on. Is it kind of crazy when you're trying to put a last minute deal like that together, or are you kind of hands off on that? And if it comes through, then you show up for race weekend there?
They can be hectic. That one with Tyler Young and them actually went really smooth, and I kind of was a part of it at the beginning, and then I kind of stepped back, and I was like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So, Tyler and Austin, and they made it really easy for myself to go race that, and had a lot of fun with it.
That's awesome. Big change, obviously, going from trucks to now running your first full year in the Xfinity series with RCR. Obviously getting used to a new team has its challenges. What have been some of the bigger differences from you changing, series, going from the truck to Xfinity series?
Biggest change is really the car, right? You go from a truck that has a spec motor, a lot of downforce, to a car that has way less downforce, and then now we have built motors, what we call them, but there's way more RPM, and you feel the power a lot more. So it's been a little bit of adjusting. I felt like I got comfortable really fast and kind of got up to speed, I guess. I feel like we've just been lacking a little bit here and there. So, we've had a humbling couple of weeks throughout the season we've had so far. And I feel like we're constantly searching for speed because we're nowhere behind a little bit. So, trying things, and NASCAR doesn't make that easy with our 15-minute practices that we get,
right,
or 20-minute practices. So, it's definitely not easy coming in, new car, trying to learn that, and then we're behind the 8 ball on setup stuff, so it makes it really hard when you're behind to catch back up. Just trying to work through some of that. The guys did a really good job on our car this week, and I was really happy with it in practice yesterday. I felt like I probably underdrove it a little bit in qualifying, not expecting that much grip, so that was on me to qualify 5th, but I'm looking forward to tonight.
That's awesome. One of the big changes, the schedule, trucks, 23 races, throughout the whole season, and sometimes 2 to 4 off-week periods, a couple times throughout the year, to a full 33 race schedule. You guys would have had some off weeks already. Has that been a challenge to get adjusted to, being, that you don't get that time off like you guys did in the truck series?
I like racing for me, it's okay to go race every week. The truck series, because you'd finally get in the rhythm, and then you'd have 2 off weeks.
Sure.
So I like that about Xfinity is you're racing every week. You're trying to work on the cars every week, and it's nice to see, where you're going with it.
Absolutely.
And just more laps and getting better. So, more racing.
Right. New teammate this year, Austin Hill, who you guys battled each other week in, week out on the truck series for a couple years there. Both rookies this year. How is it working with Austin as a teammate at RCR?
Yeah, no, Austin's been great. Obviously, we raced each other really hard in the truck series, and probably weren't each other's biggest fans, but we also didn't not like each other, right? We just both raced really hard. But being his teammate's been great. I feel like we share a lot of the same ideas, and I feel like our driving styles are pretty close. We might be a little different here and there, but really, I mean, I think we're really spot on with a lot of the things we think in the race cars, and we both. I don't know. It's refreshing to see, I guess, just to see how much we work together, and it's been a lot of fun so far, and it probably surprised me a little bit. I didn't know how we would be together at first, but no, it's been really good.
That's awesome. RCR, has really, I think, upped their game over the last few years in the Xfinity Series, bringing in a lot of talent. Have you see that progression as well? Obviously, you do, right? You're not going to talk bad about your team, but talk a little bit about the team mentality from an Xfinity Series perspective.
I feel like RCR has probably had one of the best Xfinity programs. I don't know, handful of years, not even handful of years since Harvick and them used to race the Busch cars and everything. They've always had a good Xfinity program, and I think obviously drivers come in waves, right? So they had a couple years where they had some part-time guys in it, and then they had Myatt last year, and maybe just got behind a little bit. They were focusing on the new Cup car and everything going on there, and they want to make their Cup program back to winning races. So I think we just got a little off on the Xfinity side, and everyone's eager to win races in the shop, and everyone wants to win. So they're putting a lot of effort back into Xfinity right now with Austin and I, and even the College cars. I mean, the College cars have been fast the whole time, right? I think our setups just are probably a little different than theirs, but they have RCR cars. So clearly they can win. I think just finding a balance that Austin and I both like. Probably we're going to be a little bit different between the two of us, but just trying to find that balance and go from there. And I think, give us a few weeks or a little bit of time, I think we'll be, consistently up there at the front.
Awesome. Your crew chief is new to RCR2 this year. Talk a little bit about, getting accustomed and working with Jeff and how that's developed and the style that he brings for you as a crew chief.
Yeah, I brought Jeff and my engineer Sam Bowers over from GMS, so that's been really nice just to not have to deal with those growing pains, right? Just being able to kind of jump in and us learn the car together and not have to worry about building a relationship and, trusting each other, I guess you'd say. But Jeff's been awesome. He's pretty calm most of the time. Obviously, when we don't race good or little things obviously irritate him, but I feel like we balance each other well. I'm probably a lot calmer than he is at times, so I feel like we balance each other well. And just nice having Jeff around and there. And this is our, I don't even know, 4th or 5th full-time season we're going on, so it's been a fun ride with him.
That's great. You've got a unique sponsor in Whelen Motorsports. Talk about how that partnership came together.
Yeah, Whelen did a little bit of stuff with RCR in the past, and they kind of came to RCR wanting to get back into NASCAR. I had actually already had my deal put together with RCR, and we didn't know really what we were going to put on the car. We were working on sponsors and funding and that, and then Whelen came along and wanted to be a part of it. So super thankful for them, and it's been a lot of fun. They have people out every weekend, depending on what state or town we're in. Either people that work for Whelen, manufacture Whelen lights. We'll have firefighters or people from the police department, and or just installers. Like they'll have shops that install Whelen lights. So it's actually a lot of fun. We get to meet new people every week and from different states. And I think Whelan's really happy with how things are going right now. And it makes it fun for race weekends, just being able to kind of show people around.
That's great. That's really cool. That sounds like a unique partnership and a lot of fun. And, it's nice when you get the, for the full year, right? You don't have to worry about that. You can just go hang out with whoever they bring to the track each week and go do your thing. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So, all
Enjoying
right.
it.
After this week at Martinsville, you guys got your first off week, and then it's off to Talladega, Dover, Darlington. Which tracks are you most excited to get to in the Xfinity Series that you haven't raced in that series yet?
I try to be positive about every track we go to, just not having an Xfinity card in any of them, but definitely have Dover, Darlington, Kansas, probably some more of the bigger, faster tracks circled. I feel like our stuff's been really close to being capable of winning. And I feel like those are good tracks for me. Kansas, I've led a lot of laps there in the trucks. Never won there, but led a lot of laps. Finished second there in 2020. Darlington obviously won a couple of truck races there. Love that place. And Dover's just always badass. So
yes, sir.
Yeah, I just looking forward to some of their faster places. And not that I don't like short track racing, it's just I feel like I'm more natural at the bigger places and like going faster, I guess. So
absolutely.
And road courses. Road courses I'm a big fan of. So yeah, definitely looking forward to a few of those. Charlotte, pretty much all the mile and a halves. Homestead, anywhere that's rough and wore out, I love to.
Fantastic. I love it. All right, man. Well, listen, give a quick shout out to sponsors and where everyone can follow you on social media.
Yeah, man. So Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, I'm just Sheldon Creed. Super simple, easy to find. And just what you see in the car every week. Wheeling, Chevrolet, trench shoring.
Beautiful.
Partners that help RCR.
Love it. All right. Lap Traffic Nation, huge thanks to Sheldon Creed for calling into the show. It was great to talk to you. Great to have you on. Best of luck tonight at Martinsville, man, and look forward to talking to you down the road.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Take care. Have a good one. All right. So the trucks, a rare Thursday night race at Martinsville, and William Byron picking up the first of two wins this weekend on Thursday night. So here is where I'm at from a Martinsville perspective. First of all, I want to go to this track so bad. And Lindsay and I were actually talking about that tonight. Like, can I squeeze that in October? And it's like, I want the night race and the truck race, which is why you would go in April. But I want the excitement of the playoff race, but it's not a night race and you don't get the trucks in the fall, which it's a disservice to the NASCAR playoffs for the truck series that they are not running the October race there. There, I've said it. I don't like it, but there's nothing I can do about it. But that said, I wish it was a night race, but hey, October, temperature changes probably a little bit there. So I'm torn. It's like, do I wait till next year to try to go in April for night races with the truck race, or do I go for playoff racing this year? So it's up in the air. We'll see what happens there. Anyways, I digress. What I did not like with this race, which set the tone a little bit for 2/3 of the weekend, was the unbelievable shit show that we got on Thursday and Friday night in terms of cautions and caution laps. I mean, the truck race, 200 short laps, 71 of those Thursday night on the truck race were ran under caution. 36% of the race under yellow. It's unacceptable. And not even normally I'm going to complain about the unnecessary stage break caution laps that count against. That really wasn't that bad. Those weren't that long, unnecessary, but that's a whole separate digression that we've done many, many times. But that's crazy. And I'll follow that up when I get to the Xfinity series here in just a second. But you got to give a shout out. Johnny Sauter, first second place finish since his last win at Dover back in 2019. I mean, we've all kind of written Sauter off over the last couple years, from GMS not being able to pick anything up, like just week in, week out, wrecking 15th place, 25th place finish. Now running a part-time schedule and, goes out there, picks up second place. He battled, he worked for it, because there was a minute there in that race where I'm like, typical Johnny, well, not typical. Typical Johnny's out there winning and competing. The new typical, I guess you would say. But yeah, so let's see what he can do his next run in the truck series. And is anyone surprised other than me that we're 5 races in and John Hunter Nemechek doesn't have a win yet and is 5th in the standings? I expected him to be first with at least one race win already this year, and it just hasn't happened yet. And I wonder this weekend, Bristol Dirt, if he finds pay dirt, no pun intended. All right, over to the Xfinity Series, another caution-filled race. 100 of 261 laps ran under yellow. That is 38% of that race under yellow. I don't know what the sweet spot is per se, but I will say that's too many for my liking. Especially at a short track such as Martinsville, where they just click off so quickly. I would say, the sweet spot, maybe 20%, maybe 25%, considering is how you've got your stage breaks automatically. But that's just a lot. It takes away from the momentum, from being able to get in there and really get in a groove. But anyways, all right, Brandon Jones taking advantage of the shit show, though. Brandon seems to find his way into victory lane every once in a while under situations like this, getting it done for JGR. And how about Landon Castle? Best finish of his career in the Xfinity Series with a P2. We'll talk a little bit more about Landon a little later on with Aaron Studwell, since he reps Landon. I'm sure he'll have a lot to comment on and talk about that there. We had this conversation last year. We all love Clint Boyer, but we all poked fun at Clint Boyer for not taking his helmet off. Hey, Ty, take the helmet off. I get it. You were in the lead. You got moved. I'd be pissed, whether right, wrong, or not. I'd be mad. And I love the fact that they went and grappled. Go get after it. That's what we love. That's what we want. Take the helmet off. Or don't go get into it. Don't get into it. You ain't gonna take the helmet off. Don't go confront somebody. That's all I've got to say about that. Xfinity will be off this week. They are not racing on the dirt, and they will be back at Talladega. All right. Saturday night, our first night race of 2022. Before the Cup race started, I was a little nervous because we had 171 of 461 laps ran so far under yellow. That's a lot. Anyone doing the math, that's 37% of the 2 races under yellow. But the Cup race redeemed itself and salvaged the weekend a little bit. Only 36 of 400 caution laps on Saturday night. William Byron picked up the win, obviously, with HMS just dominating the race. They're not all going to be, grand slams. Was this the best Martinsville race? No. Was it the worst? No. And part of that's just tied to the fact of that HMS dominated. 212 laps by Byron, 185 by Chase Elliott. That's 397 of 403 laps. That's just 6 laps not led by either of those 2 drivers. That's a clinic in my book. So if that definitely can take away from some of the excitement when if William Byron and Chase Elliott aren't your driver, then I could see some of that. But on the same token, we had a lot of movement throughout both stages, and throughout the start of the race. Byron obviously up front all night. Joey Logano started mid-pack-ish. Austin Dillon started mid-pack. Ross Chastain 27th all the way up to 5th. That's awesome. That's resilience. So you had a lot of movement throughout there. So there was movement out there on the track. There was a lot of passing. So I would say, I get where maybe there's some frustration, but not completely. You want to be frustrated. Let's see what happens this weekend at Bristol. We know what a shit show it was last year with the rain and the mud and all that. We went mud racing. We didn't go dirt racing. So I'm very curious to see if this year's an improvement. I love it. I love the trucks. I've been to Eldora a couple times. I can rally behind this. I can rally behind the niche and the gimmick, if you will. I would rather a gimmick dirt race than a gimmick plate race and see 30 cars wrecked. We might have 30 cars wrecked, but there's a good chance most of them will be all out on the track still. So, and it's just personal opinion, preference, and all of that. I get all of that because I'm sure there's a lot of you that would say the exact opposite of what I just said there. But anyways, I just hope, we had some fun last year because it was the first time the rain and the weather put a damper on things. So I'm very curious, very excited. I hope the weather holds off, and we'll find out about that here in just a minute. But I'm looking forward to seeing what the second attempt of the Bristol Dirt Race looks like. I know it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a fun time, and I just hope things improve from a on dirt perspective, if you will. All right, let's get to a little Lap Traffic social media. Everybody, make sure you check out the website, thelaptrafficpodcast.com, Facebook, The Lap Traffic Podcast, YouTube, The Lap Traffic Podcast, TikTok, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, all at Lap Traffic PC. If you've made it this far into the show, go leave a review and keep telling your friends to go follow. We just keep hanging around with just like 175 followers to go. We'll bounce up to, 160 to go, then we'll lose a few, all that good stuff. Literally keep hanging around that 175 mark. Appreciate you all. But I want to give away the 124 raced win diecast of Chase Elliott from Phoenix, as well as some Kevin Harvick sheet metal. And I'll do that at 6,000 followers whenever that happens. Speaking of new followers, Mark at M. Mayer Hoff RTS from Minnesota and host of the Reaction Time Sports Podcast. Terry Quinn at Terry O. Cuinn, Brad Keselowski fan, and Blake at Grace the 24 fan, a William Byron fan. I know someone's happy from this weekend. Welcome to the show, everyone. Go tell your friends. And don't forget, I've got free stickers and koozies. All you have to do is fill out the contact page on the website. I'll send it out to you. No questions asked. And just tag me in a picture with it when you get it. That's it. All right. That's going to do it for social media this week. Let's get Mr. Aaron Studwell on the line. All right, Lap Traffic Nation, joining me on the line. You can follow him on Twitter at RaceWeather, along with Brian Newdorf, keeping us up to date on all the weather happenings. Welcome back to the show, Mr. Aaron Studwell. Sir, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, sir. I'm doing well, and yourself?
I'm doing good. It's been a minute. Welcome back. Man, lots to talk about, because last time we were on, we were in the middle of March Madness, and it's come and gone. And so this is the last time we'll talk college basketball until it cycles back around in November of this year. But I'd be remiss if we didn't do a quick recap on it.
Yeah, and it's funny because I saw Pete Pistone had a tweet about the NCAA tournament being last Monday. He was like, man, it just seems so much longer ago than last week.
Well, I mean, March Madness is deceiving, right? Like, because it's the third week of March in most cases that this thing kicks off, and it goes into the second week of April. So it's deceiving. Like, that's just my thought.
Well, and then it just seems like so much had happened between then.
Yes.
Opening day.
Yeah.
You had a very busy race weekend with Martinsville, 3 races at Martinsville starting on Thursday.
Yes. Yep.
And then you had Formula One, you had IndyCar, you had a very busy sports car schedule too. And then opening day, the Masters. It really does kind of wind up being a really good week of sports.
Yes.
You don't have these big gaps.
Yes, I agree. Crazy. All right. So quickly, as you mentioned pre-show here, was it a successful season for Michigan?
I'm going to say yes, but the caveat is I think it's successful for both the team and for the athletics department. I think they learned a lot about their staff.
Sure.
I think it was unfortunately a very eye-opening incident with Juwan, and but I think you say begins before the season begins, or you especially say in December for how they were playing then. Hey, they're going to make the Sweet 16. I'm taking it.
Yes. Well, so I'm with you, and it's so crazy for me because I look at it, and in my bracket, I didn't have them getting past Colorado State. Right? I didn't. I'm like, there's just no way. And they do it. And then I forget who they played in the round of 32. Or Tennessee. That's who we played. And we beat them. And we're playing good ball. And then we get to Villanova. And that was a winnable game up until the last 3 minutes of that game. And we just missed such sloppy shots, such sloppy layups. Like, we couldn't get anything to fall. And if we had just gotten a couple gifts, we're talking the Elite Eight. So for me, it was a disappointing ending to the season. I just wonder, you and I talk about this all the time, whether it's college football or basketball. I'm always looking towards the recruitment and how are we going to get and do better? And I just wonder, was the Sweet 16 appearance enough to make up for a lousy regular season if you're a recruit looking at Michigan possibly?
I would say yes, because what is the ultimate goal? You're not going to get to the tournament unless you have a good season.
Sure. Or
above average season. No, saying there's a difference between good and above average. Average teams are going to go to a different tournament.
Yeah.
But if you can make the NCAAs and you're on a good team, they showed again they're a top 16 team in the country. Flat out, they made the Sweet 16, and it doesn't matter their path was easier. It may not have been because they got past a Tennessee team which had been top 10, top 12 most of the season.
Sure. All right, let me ask you this. Did you hear the news, the rumor going around that Juwan Howard might be headed to the Lakers?
So now Michigan's a stepping stone job.
Right? Well, I wonder because, Beeline's kind of been sitting on the bench towards the end of the regular season. Physical presence on the Michigan basketball bench.
I know. You're
right. I wonder. That's the only reason why I may feel there's some validity behind that or something may happen.
Okay, so I'm going to answer the unasked question. I would be okay with bringing Beeline back.
Absolutely.
I really would be.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Not that, 2 years with Juwan, obviously had a stellar rookie season with Michigan. And I think you have to say that's due to Beeline and the team that he left for Juwan Howard. So rookie year, they lost a lot of guys, or I'm sorry, sophomore year, they lost a lot of talent. And, it was a ho-hum season. Nothing great, nothing horrible. Got to the Sweet 16. So really curious what years 3 and 4 for Howard will or could have looked like. Obviously not knowing if there's any truth behind any of that, but I'm curious. But if Beeline steps back into the seat, I think it's like not missing a beat, and I think things are right on path and getting better.
I agree with that. And what I was just thinking when you were kind of covering your thoughts was if Beeline had those exact same 2 seasons that Howard just had, there's no question that it's his job.
Yes.
So if Beeline didn't opt to go to the Cavaliers and then didn't work out. And so, I really think he's a guy who, where I was thinking before you even said that was, or told me about the Lakers rumors, was that is Howard a guy who can coach a national championship team?
Oh, I think it's possible. I do. I think I tell you what, I would have expected just based on what we've seen from Michigan basketball the last couple years, getting to some national championship teams, knowing the recruitment that we could get, knowing the names that Juwan Howard could have possibly pulled just because of his name. I would have said I would have thought Juwan Howard would have gotten to a Final Four before Jim Harbaugh gets to a Final Four.
But Harbaugh just got to a Final Four.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
I'm going to say, I'm thinking about what you're saying here.
I know.
Like, wait a minute.
I know. I'm surprised by that. I would have thought it would have been the other way around.
Okay, thank you for explaining. Like I kind of got lost in the words, and I'm like, now that I start thinking about it, and then you end your sentence, and I'm like, wait a minute.
They did. I know. That's the crazy thing. I would not have won that prop bet.
I'm glad you didn't place it.
I didn't place one either. No.
Don't tempt me.
Yes. All right. Martinsville. A lot of mixed reaction there, but for you personally, Saturday, the Xfinity race was stole the show, I would say, from the weekend, as well as your driver, Landon Castle, picking up a P2, his best finish in the Xfinity Series ever. Have you talked to him? What's the buzz going around that team?
I texted him that night. We texted over the weekend. It's just excitement, and I think this is he's a guy who's, they've always said, get him in good equipment, he's going to be a good racer, and sometimes that doesn't pan out.
Sure.
This time it has, and
yes.
I'm just ecstatic to be working with him, and I'm ecstatic and just so happy to be representing him. I know he's thrilled. I'll see him again at Dover. I saw him at COTA. And I should post some of the pictures. Just him and I just cutting up at COTA, and he's like pointing at me, and I'm laughing, and like neither one of us can remember what he was saying.
Oh, that's great. That's great. You know what? We should probably get Landon on if you can maybe work some magic there, because I haven't talked to him since I did the podcast bonus shows for him and Parker for the E-Racer series. Would love to catch up with Landon and talk about his run and what it's been like the first few races over at Colic.
He falls under the friend of the show category.
Yes, he does. He does. Yes. So yeah, let's make
I've got to text. I've got to text him after this anyway. So
excellent.
Yeah, I'll make sure we do that.
Perfect. All right, man. Well, we are headed back to the Bristol dirt track. Last year was a cluster bleep. It's early.
But Monday turned out okay.
Right. It's early this week. But how are things looking for the early projection?
Early outlook. Friday looks good. Cup practice, partly cloudy, mid-70s. Saturday, cup qualifying, the truck race. And I think cup qualifying is at 6 and the truck race is at 8 Eastern. Again, another partly cloudy, mid-70s, 75 for the high. Race time temps will be in the upper 60s, which will be much better than it was this past weekend in Martinsville, where they not only, I think they said they ran out of hot dogs at the inside stand.
Oh wow!
And I imagine hot chocolate and coffee were at a premium as well.
Yeah.
And I want to go with the pessimistic forecast, knowing I would rather go increasing clouds, a chance of showers, high of 73, race time temp mid 60s, with it being a night race, and hopefully to get better. The European model shows sunny and nice with highs in the 70s, and the American model shows cloudy and rain showers, highs in the upper 50s. So I'm going with a bit of a blend.
Quite the variance.
It is quite the variance. I want to go with the cloudy, a little bit warmer, chance of showers in the forecast. Hopefully by Thursday we have a better clue on it. And as you indicated, we are recording a little bit earlier than normal, so people can go to the website tomorrow night. You're dropping tomorrow, Tuesday, right?
Actually, I might post tonight. I think.
Okay.
I got everything done, so I think I'm going to post tonight.
Sounds good.
Here's the thing. I want to see what this race is supposed to look like with the dirt laid down and, the water truck running around, putting the amount of water that's supposed to be put down. I don't want the outside influence of Mother Nature, and I just want to see what we're supposed to get with this race.
And I don't want a recreation of the 1930s Dust Bowl either,
exactly.
Which is what it became at the end because they weren't properly watering the track.
Yes. You got
Can we get Tony Stewart out here as a consultant?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. That would be amazing. I love it. All right, man. Well, listen, it was great to catch up with you as always. Lap Traffic Nation, make sure you follow Aaron on Twitter at RaceWeather, along with Brian Newdorf at NASCAR_WXMAN. Sir, great to catch up with you, and we'll catch you in a couple weeks.
You will, and we'll be in touch between all of that, and have a great week.
Thanks, man. You too. We'll talk to you soon.
Later.
See ya. Bye. All right, Lap Traffic Nation, there you have it, Mr. Aaron Studwell. Sorry about the basketball talk. We had to do it, and we won't talk Michigan much until about August when we're back on track talking Michigan football and Big Ten football. It's just a thing. It's a niche podcast, an amateur niche podcast. So every once in a while, well, not every once in a while, when Aaron and Brian are around, we're just going to mix in some sports topics that we like to talk about. So there you have it, and let's keep things rolling. Let's do some lucky dogs and all that good jazz. All right, you guys know what barking dogs means. It's time for this week's lucky dog and lap down picks. You guys know the drill. After race weekend, tweet your lucky dog and lap down picks, tag you guys on the show, and see what you guys have to say. All right, well, my lucky dog race weekend, I mean, it's obvious. It's William Byron. My lap down are the Detroit Tigers because after sneaking past one with a walk-off win in the 9th on opening day, they dropped back-to-back games against the Chicago White Sox in disappointing fashion. So there you have that. All right, let's get to your responses. Scott at 1985 Wagner, lucky dog, Team Hendrick, just crushing everyone this season. Lap down, Denny Hamlin, first to super back marker in 6 days. I love it. Chris at USMC_NASCAR Fire, lucky dog, trucks and Xfinity races, laps down, whatever that crap that other series was doing. Thank you. Thank God for Flow Racing. Colin at Colin_with_cars. Lucky dog goes to the Xfinity series for having the best race of the weekend. Lap down to Ty Gibbs. Take the helmet off. I love it. Jason at JA Stone 29. He had to take a day to ponder his picks. Lucky dog was the 24 in that last pit stop, putting him out front. Lap down was the fans. Not a good Martinsville race at all. Follow the leader, no passing, and a lot of teams frustrated with their cars. Yeah, I agree. And I wonder if that very well just may be a product of getting to know the new car. Thing is, when we come back in the fall, it's going to be a day race, which will impact things not as bad, but enough. So we won't know what they've been able to adjust until next year for this race, which is a bummer, but I'm sure they'll get something squared away. Liam at Almost a Mechanic, that's a great name. Lucky dog to Byron for 2 Martinsville clocks in one weekend and being the first repeat cup winner of 2022. A lap down for the passing game and low-key race on Saturday. I hear you, Liam. Lisa at LL Chanana, lucky dog. Us fans that watch the Xfinity race. Sorry, Cup, because that was one heck of a race. Lap down, Cole Custer. He was having the best run of his Cup career. Matt at Camper News Net, lucky dog. William Byron, first repeat winner of the season. Additional lucky dog as the Mets are off to a great start this season. Thank you for Baez, by the way. Appreciate you. Lap down. Lap traffic fantasy season has been a complete bust this year for me. You and me both. And last but not least, Rowdy at the Rowdy Dragon. Lucky dog, Willie B. First repeat winner of the season. Lap down, Denny Hamlin. May have backed into the win last week, hack style. If we max out on winners this season, he may be in jeopardy of not making the playoffs. Ty Gibbs is waiting in the wings. Ooh, look at that. I see what you're doing there. All right. Okay. All right. That is going to do it for this week's Lucky Dog and Lap Down picks. You know what time it is. It's time to close it out with some Lap Traffic Fantasy. Just a reminder, get your picks in by 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Thursday. Keep the Twitter interaction up using hashtag LTFantasy. Also, I created a Lap Traffic Fantasy community on Twitter. I got a good chunk of the league in there already. Send me a DM if you want an invite to that, just to let everybody be able to talk some smack to each other on there as well. We are approaching 8 race weekends into segment 1, about halfway through, a little over halfway through segment 1. Let's see. I did the best I did all year, I think, with, 124 points, and I still keep hovering around in 50th. I might get to 45th. I might drop to 55th. I can't break it. I just cannot get on a swing. I don't know what. I'm just going to have to go out and win segment 2 to make the playoffs. Otherwise, this is just embarrassing. But not for some of you guys. Let's see here. Our week high this week had Byron, Gibbs, and Smith for 142 points and 2 bonus points, with the week high bonus point and the William Byron bonus point there in the Cup Series. We'll go over to the top 10 in standings. In first place with 799 points is Michael Mason. In second with 790 is Justin Hughes. In third with 782 is Tony Salt. In fourth with 759 is Kristen Haglund. In fifth with 742 is Henry Fletcher. In sixth with 735 is Kim James. In seventh, two-way tie, 733, Don James and John Itwensel, all the way in Australia. In eighth with 728 is Joshua Neal. In ninth with 722 is Brad Carnes. And in 10th with 721 is John Warrington. Still anybody's game there. One slip up and there can be a massive shakeup there. That's how close it is there, which is awesome. Our guest picker this week, Robert Riggs. We were trying to make something work, but unfortunately he's out working on an oil rig, and that made that a little difficult. So we'll try to get someone on next week for sure for the guest picker spot there. Over to the bonus points. In first with 6 bonus points is Jason Dickus. In second, we got a 3-way tie for 5 bonus points with Kim James, Scott Boyes, and Tony Livet. And in third place, we've got a bunch of people with 4 bonus points: Brett Morris, Henry Fletcher, Kevin Hahn, Kristen Haglund, Logan Cummings, Matt Crowd, Michael Mason, the Blind Spot Podcast, and Robert Riggs as well. So there you have that. Let's get to some picks. We are going dirt track racing this weekend and headed back to Bristol, baby. Joey Logano shocked the world last year picking up the win on the dirt track. He also picked up the win this year at the LA Coliseum. Joey is all about winning first-time races. Will he be able to pick up his first points-paying race of the season and go back-to-back on Bristol dirt? Last year's favorite, Christopher Bell, was involved in an early crash and will be looking for some retribution, along with Kyle Larson, will he be able to make a bigger statement this year on the dirt? We all thought he was going to do it last year. He's going to try to pick up his second win of the season as well this year. Will the rain hold off? Who will keep it clean, no pun intended, and bring it home on the dirt? We'll find out this weekend. But first, it's time for my crappy picks. In the truck series, I was torn. I keep trying to ride the John Hunter Nemechek train out until he wins. But I think I'm going to go with Ben Rhodes, which means John Hunter Nemechek is going to pick up the win. So there's your safe bet. And my cup pick, man, this is a tough one. I want to use Kyle Larson, but I don't know if I should. Do I want to burn that pick on a gimmick race? Oh, man, what the hell? We need to make something happen. We're going to go with Kyle Larson. All right, there you have it. And there you have the show. And that, Lap Traffic Nation, is going to do it for episode 275 of the Lap Traffic Podcast. Make sure you check out the website, thelaptrafficpodcast.com, Facebook, The Lap Traffic Podcast, TikTok, Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter, all at Lap Traffic PC. Huge thank you to Sheldon Creed and Aaron Studwell for calling into the show this week. Next week, Chase Purdy and Austin Wayne Self are going to be on the show. Don't get caught chasing the lucky dog. Make sure you tune in each and every week to the Lap Traffic Podcast. See ya!